Welcome back to I'll Play Mega Man 2. This week it's Airman. Airman has another one of my favorite musical themes in the Mega Man franchise. Although there's so many great ones, and in this game too. Airman's one of the tougher stage parts of this game. And it comes from this platform jumping part with bottomless sky pits every few steps, and lots of things ready to hit you and knock you off of your platform. Super good players of this, i.e. not me, are able to work really quickly through this because they've got the timing down of the drills that come up. And the big robots that I'm standing on have a name that's based on something from a Japanese legend or a Japanese mythology. And I can't remember. It took me a while looking at those guys to actually see that they have like a little ape mouth at the bottom. I used to think they were just angry eyes, but they've got angry eyes and a nose, and then at the bottom they've got that flat, angry-looking, I don't know, great ape-looking thing, orangutan stuff. So these cloud guys throwing their lightning, I switched to the metal blade to get an angled attack on them, because the Mega Buster, as you know, just shoots one direction straight. You can't shoot at diagonal angles with the Mega Buster. Take these guys down, and again, I'm working very slowly and methodically through this one, and I missed my jump right there. It's pretty common when I'm playing on the emulator controls. I wish I was able to do this on the NES. But I don't have this game, and I don't have any of my video game stuff here in Ireland with me. But I've got the plug-in USB controller, and I don't even use, and I probably should have gotten one of these before I left the States. So I don't even use a real NES controller with the USB adapter. I know they make those, and apparently they work quite well for this, but I didn't pick one up. So I've got kind of a multi-purpose USB controller I plug in that has 4 buttons, like a Super NES, A, B, X, Y shape buttons, and then a start select shape button, but of course you can program to anything. And then the L1, R1, L2, R2 buttons at the back. So it also has a couple of joysticks, like a DualShock PlayStation 1 controller. But I've never used this for emulating anything more advanced than 16 bits. Partly because I don't know if my computer could handle it. The laptop I'm using is a little bit on the clunky side. So we're working our way through Airman stage. Ugh. Almost got our way through Airman stage. I tried to hurry that time. So here we go again. Taking on the ape robots. And you can see I get better at timing on these things. If I was really dedicated to making high-quality, impressive videos, I would leave off my training deaths. But I don't really care to do that much work and do that much extra recording and do that much extra editing. I'll leave the deaths in when I can, when they're not excessive. So when you see me complete something that looks pretty difficult on the first try, usually it means that you're only seeing my last attempt of usually many, and I just cut out everything but my last and most successful attempt if I try something a lot and die. But you can't get too impatient in these unless you're one of those really sick monster gamers that flies through these levels. So we went to a concert. We're getting out of the house a little bit more now. We're finding ways to find some of the less expensive activities to do in Dublin. We went out to a concert last night. It was a symphony orchestra that played a couple of children's pieces with a performance of shadow puppets that narrated the story along with it. It was also all narrated in Irish, the ancestral language of Ireland here. So during this part, I'm fighting the birds that drop the eggs, and I'm trying to hit the eggs before they fall and hatch all the baby birds, but it's not the end of the world if they do, because as you can see, I was able to get a lot of health power-ups and weapon energy power-ups. And the metal blade, again, is very handy. In this spot, being able to shoot at angles and shoot vertically up. But the concert was the UCD Symphony Orchestra playing. They played Peter and the Wolf was the headliner, but they also played the William Tell Overture, a longer version of it than the Lone Ranger theme song with the morning scene and then the Hi-Ho Silver scene. They also played some of the Carnival of the Animals from Sansa, which was another children's piece that he wrote. William Tell Overture wasn't a children's piece as it was written, but the Shadow Puppeteer came up with a little shadow puppet story for each one, and then of course they did Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf, but was narrated all in Irish. And we got there a few minutes before the concert started, but they were out of paper programs with the English translation. But luckily, both of us knew the story of Peter and the Wolf well enough, and we knew what the themes were and who the main characters were to be able to tell the story. But it was very interesting listening to that Irish language. We've observed this before, that we're conjecturing, totally ignorantly, of course, that the Irish accent when people speak English, with that particular lilt that Irish people speak English, comes from the pronunciation from that language. It sounds a little bit like someone speaking English in a pretty heavy Irish accent when you hear that. And it takes you a few seconds like, I can't understand him. Oh, yeah, it's because they're speaking the other language. Yep. So here's Airman himself. He launches the tornadoes and then pushes the tornadoes at you. You know, when you're playing this on NES, you'd have to practice a long time to figure out that he is extremely weak against that leaf shield. You'd have to do a lot of trial and error. Ooh. That sound is pretty irritating. But he is extremely weak against the leaf shield. A couple hits from the leaf shield knocks him out. So even really good players are able to just jump right through those. So I've got my air shooter, and now we have a message from Dr. Light. These all take a long time. Item 2 completed. Get your weapons ready. Item 2 is a special movement item that I can use later. We'll use that in levels as we go through. Back with more Mega Man 2 next week.